lot of watch going on. So much.
Last time I saw you was 2013, and I said, please have a good day. And you said, don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do. This guy's telling me what to do already.
It's good seeing you again. How are you enjoying the Hall of Fame?
I'm good. I love it. I mean, it's an honor to be here. It's so cool to get to present awards to, to guys that I grew up watching in Pride and that I, idolized. So it's just pretty awesome, right?
Awesome. And what are you doing in the pastime? Like, what are you doing? Meantime, obviously, you're doing the power slap. Your hands in so many different projects. Well, what have you been up to also?
Yeah, I just go around and stick my fingers in other people's pies whenever possible. No, mostly I help the Performance Institute, the UFC Performance Institute. I help that function at its best. I make sure that we take care of the fighters and, really trying to kind of expand what we do there and how we help athletes in the sport.
Yeah, you're a great ambassador for the sport. Your first
I don't want to be an ambassador. I want to be a guy that shows up and works and actually gets things done.
Absolutely. And what legend are you excited for going into the Hall of Fame? Obviously, the Hall of Fame career, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's a big night for Brazil, right? So, I got to give Jose Aldo a tour of the PI yesterday, and it was just an honor just to see how much respect all the fighters have for him and how he was really the guy that brought in those lower weight classes and made them relevant,
Forrest, the Ultimate Fighter's still going on. We got Chandler and Connor. Just how cool is it that you were part of the first one and the show's still going strong?
I was part of the first one? That's amazing. No, I mean...
I know it was back before you had black and white color television, right?
So, it was on the radio days, but no, they were... I love it, I'm happy to see it still going. Obviously, I'll always love it. And I think it's important. There's ways, the UFC is hard, man. The UFC is like the pros, right? And there's no college. Yeah. So it's kind of a way to test yourself in the Contender, in the Ultimate Fighter. It's a way to test yourself, your skills, see where you are, and maybe you need to take a year back. So what I really like is when those guys from the UFC or Contender bounce out and then they come back and get signed a year later and they've matured and they've figured out what they need to improve on and what they need to change to improve on that. It's a big deal, man.
I like the veteran concept where they bring guys like you were kind of talking about that.
Thank you so much.
You already know who they are and you kind of want to root for a Kurt Hollabaugh or some of these guys that were in the UFC and trying to work their way back. You're nodding your head. I think you agree here.
1,000%. I love seeing those guys get a second chance. I mean, what was it, season 4 was the comeback?
Yeah.
So I love it. Look, man, it's hard to fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like that Timur Valiev. I thought he was so good. Hey, he fought tough people. He caught tough matchups. He caught tough breaks. And, it's I was surprised to see him go. But, man, UFC, it's good to get second chances.
This last one for me, should they bring the challenges back, carrying wood on the beach and all that? That was pretty legendary in your season.
I fast-forward through them when they do them, so I'm going to say no.
Fair enough.
What is it like to be honoring the Nogueira brothers? Obviously, they're up for the Forrest Griffin Community Award at the Hall of Fame.
They're up for it, and I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to do it. No, it's so cool. Yeah, right. It's an honor, man. It's so cool, right? Those guys are awesome. I grew up watching them, literally grew up watching them, and I think they don't get enough credit for being guys that stayed in Brazil and. If you think about Pride in the UFC, all the people that came through their gym and that they trained with and they were cornering people and all these other legends that came through their gym because they stayed there and kind of paved the way.
Did Sam Hoger ever get back your merchandise?
He did not. But I saw him. It's all cool.
Yeah,
it's all cool.
Sort of, you got your beanie and
it turns out I don't really want that beanie 20 years later anyway. So.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was just in the office. He grabbed it from it, right?
Yeah, right. He didn't take mine personally. He took everybody.
Any fights that you're looking forward to seeing this weekend at UFC 290?
Yeah, so Robbie Lawler, right? Super excited to see him. And the other big one I'm really excited to see is Whittaker and Dricus. So I've watched Whittaker, I've studied him, but I haven't honestly paid that much attention to Dricus, and I don't know how big of a threat he is. So I'm excited to see the big test. The fight that I really took from that was when he beat Brad Tavares. That was a very nice fight, convincing fight. But no, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen with that one.
What about the main event? Obviously, they're both stylistically very different, Alex Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez. How do you think that plays out on the night?
That's a great question. If I really knew, I would probably be at the sports book. No, I couldn't. But no, I don't know. I just hope it's an amazing fight, and I'm happy to help both guys.
You mentioned back here. So you mentioned how hard it is to get into the UFC. Right. Your career started baptism by fire, where you actually fought against Dan Severn at IFC.
Yeah.
So for all those kids that are starting off on the AMIs, and now that there's a system built out, there are more MMA gyms than ever than when you first started. What advice would you give them, or give the young generation that are coming back up and coming to the sport?
Love it. Do this because you love it, because there'll be times when you hate it, but make sure that you really are doing it for the right reasons, because you enjoy training, because you enjoy fighting. Don't think this is your route to be a superstar, because if you don't love it, you're going to end up breaking down. And then, nobody likes going to work every day. There were days I absolutely dreaded driving to the gym, but for me, rule of thumb, or just a rule in general, if you want to go more days than you don't want to go, it's a good job. You're doing all right. So.
GSP they've announced that GSP is going to be returning to do the Fight Pass Invitational. What did you think of that?
I think it's awesome, man. Good for him. He's, he still wants to compete. What a stud, right? Physically, gifted guy. He's taking care of his body. It's very cool.
Is there anyone in particular you would love to see him go up against?
Ooh. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, but that's a good question, yeah. All right, I'm going to go ask those guys who are at the Fight Pass tent right now.
Okay, well, enjoy tonight. Thank you so much.